Hey guys, Loco here with Santorin, my little baby. He finally won. He's in semis. Santorin, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Santorin, let's start with the beginning of the series. You guys actually struggled so much versus the Karthus and the Varus. Tell me what was happening in the early parts of the series.
I think first off, we didn't know how to play against poke. So first off, we wouldn't draft that many engagers, and if we had engagers, we wouldn't find the right fights. So we just got rolled over just by poke. So we were like, okay, we'll take the Varus away and we'll bend the Velkoz. Just because I think they had a really clear, smart draft plan against us, and I think the only reason why we won was because they kind of strayed away from their own win condition.
What was Froggen doing and Deathly doing on Velkoz and Deathly that made it so hard for you guys?
I think they're really good at playing poke champs, always being in the right position. It's really hard for us to actually engage on them. And is that you see the Velkoz one-shotting everyone, and I feel it's weird because normally you against Velkoz you'll have a lot of engaged champs. You start a fight, and I think we had somewhat of we had opportunities to engage where we didn't take them, and I think the series was way too messy just because both teams were not playing that well, and there's a lot of weird macro, and I think in the end it just came down to we felt really confident just in our draft, and I mean Eugene game 5 Zoe, right? So
let's go back and talk about Froggen's Velkoz a little bit. I thought he was playing it really well, hiding behind walls where you guys couldn't get to him, and you guys ended up banning out the Velkoz. What if he pulled out Xerath or Ziggs afterward? You guys weren't scared that he might have additional poke champs?
I was a little afraid of him having some random pocket pick. I just think Velkoz is the most scary one because it has good wave clear, it has good burst, it has CC, it just has everything that you want as a range champion. And I wasn't sure if he'd pull out a Nivea or something like that, but I'm not too scared of that in comparison to his Velkoz because he's just killing everyone. He's so good.
So another pick I want to ask you guys about is Lissandra. Initially, Lissandra priority is very high across the world, and it was high for you guys at the start. And then you guys immediately dropped it after game 1. What happened with that?
Well, I think it just became where it was hard to make plays with Lissandra. Well, we also didn't play that well. I think normally if both teams are playing really well, I think Lissandra should just destroy the game. You can hover bot, dive bot, all that kind of stuff, normal macro. But we botched a lot of stuff. We're not playing that well, and I think we just wanted to make sure that they didn't just outscale us because they just grouped up and just started throwing poke at us, and we're just losing. So we just decided to just make sure that we have good scaling as well.
So you ended up playing Karthus in game 4. I'd imagine that was a takeaway from Froggen.
Well, I talk a lot to especially Broxah in Europe, and he's always yo, Karthus is too OP, man. Please play Karthus. So I literally since I saw them play in the EU, I've just been spamming Karthus, and this entire week I was just playing Karthus almost exclusively in solo queue as well. And seeing how well Fnatic did with Karthus, I was pretty confident, especially taking it away from Froggen. So I don't know, I just felt really confident in my own Karthus, and I think we could have played a lot better around Karthus because we didn't have as many scrims on it, but I was just really, really confident.
Now when we get to game 5, I was very, very questioning Golden Guardians' draft where they went for Lissandra, Lucian, where they gave up the heavy backline play that they were doing and they were having so much success with. What was going through your head when they drafted Lissandra, Braum, and Lucian?
I was really happy because that reminded me of Golden Guardians week 1 to 3, where they just pick only priority champs. You have to play extremely well, snowball really well, and I was nice, now we can just scale for free and we can just destroy them later on. So I was really, really happy with how draft went out, especially when they kind of counterpick themselves top as well when they have counterpick. So I felt really confident going into game 5. Yeah.
So in your interview with Ovly, there was a little bit of tears and you were really emotional. Can you talk a little bit about why the series was so meaningful for you?
Well, I think first off, everyone knows about my grandpa died, and I decided not to go back to the funeral, and we lost that. We went 0-2 that week, so it was really rough on me. And the biggest thing I think is since TSM, I have never made semifinals. Last year I made quarters with FlyQuest, and this time I made semis. So it just feels really, really good to me to slowly approach finals and do really, really well, because in my past it's been relegation over relegation, and no matter what, it just feels awful playing relegation. So I was just really, really happy for my team and my own progress as a player.
Yeah, hey, we won finals and challenger. Remember, we won twice.
Oh yeah, but it's not like the exact same thing, you know. Like it feels good winning challenger series as well, but it's just like it's a way bigger stepping stone, like making semis, I think.
And for sure. I'm just teasing you. So now, TL or C9 is gonna get to pick their opponents. Is there a team you want to play versus more?
Well, I definitely prefer playing TL just because I think they're really good players. They're really strong macro. Like, they're a really good team, but I don't think they have like that explosive thing where they just like start a random fight and they just like destroy you. And I think C9 is just like they're way better at like doing these explosive plays and like taking like their early game is just like really really good as well. Whereas like I think TL is like it's very predictable what they're gonna do, and I never feel as scared playing that team. So I think like for us it would probably be easier to beat TL.
So there's also the TSM Echo Fox match that's coming up. Do you think Echo Fox has a shot at all?
It's a very low percentage, especially like how Bjerg has been playing the last few weeks. Like he's just like popping off every game, and playoff TSM Bjergsen especially. Like I think it's gonna be like maximum 3-1 to TSM, like 3-0, 3-1. I don't think they'll have a chance.
I mean, we both got carried by Bjergsen, so we know how strong he is in playoff.
Exactly.
Any final words for Santorin fans, FlyQuest fans?
Well, just happy for you guys like sticking around, like always cheering me up and always being really supportive. And it's gonna be really hard like winning this next week, but I think as a team we feel confident.
Thank you, Santorin, so much for the interview. And if you guys enjoyed the coverage, don't forget to sub. Hey guys, Loco here. I hope you enjoyed the interview. You've subscribed to me, right? Because that helps me a lot. These interviews aren't cheap. I have to pay the camera guy, the editor. I have to pay for my Uber here. Please subscribe. And also, there's other videos of me you can check out. There should be somewhere around here. Hopefully, the editor did his job. All right, bye.